This is Clanfolk, a quote-unquote intentionally challenging RIMWORLD-esque colony sim set in medieval Scotland around the year 1300. This is an early access title that has just released. It is clearly very much inspired by RimWorld, fitting into the same genre of colony sim, of base building, of survival, but there's so much more to it than that. So in this video, looking at these fantastic trailers, but more importantly also trying some press preview early access build, thanks to Hooded Horse, the publisher of this game, let's take a look at Clanfolk. But first, a quick word from me. We're at 24,100 subscribers at the time of recording this video. We are nearly at 25k, so please do consider hitting that red button to get us nearly there towards our goal. Let's talk Clanfolk. To begin with, jumping into a game of Clanfolk, those of you who are interested in colony sims and base building games, survival games, will feel right at home here. A random world is terraformed for us with a seed phrase, and we're tasked with jumping in. The MacDougall clan was mine, but you can clearly, as you can see here, set it up any way you like. All of our people, our Clanfolk, if you will, have names and skills, genders, roles. They play a part in not just the dynasty of our clan and how that could choose to interact with others, but also in the world that we're building. You can see here Bester is a juvenile who's afraid of the dark, and there are loads more qualities and skills to unpack. When you start your game, you're thrown into what is actually a very good tutorial. It's hands-off enough that I didn't feel like I was being micromanaged, but it really does, as you can see, and as you'll find out throughout the video, really do a good job at taking me through and introducing me to RimWorld. So what do I need to do? Well, this game, as you can see here, is initially all about that core element of just surviving. And then as we move through, we get sort of those prison architect, those RimWorld, those satisfactory Factorio vibes coming through as well, where it's about designing our colony. And as you could probably tell by the initial look at the world, it's a fairly large map. You probably won't struggle to fill it up anytime soon. As you can see by me unlocking things like stone sickles, as I move around gathering food and resources to try and survive, there's a technological element here as well. Not really a tech tree as such, but certainly more of that unlocking equipment, unlocking ways to manage your resources, logistics, so on and so forth. Move your way through from the basic stone picks to ingots to jugs to better infrastructure, processing materials from fireplaces. Watch out for that, by the way, right the way through. Clanfolk is therefore, of course, a game about fishing, about gathering, about hunting and farming with the ultimate aim of survival. Because, of course, this is a survival game. We are ultimately building up a clan to try and survive in this harsh environment. And there are many things that overlap and feed into the survival element of Clanfolk that I think make it a really well-polished early access title. Let me share a few. Firstly, of course, there's that familial element, that clan element to this game. We do create our own clan, our own lineage at the start, or we can jump into one of the pre-existing Scottish Highland clans. But there's sort of a nice, actually many nice elements to how we manage our clan and how they grow. So our members have their own traits and skills, and these play out practically in gathering resources, hunting, etc., but also in their own sort of lifestyle. Because while this is a fairly simple looking game, graphically, shall we say, man, there's a lot of depth in behind it. These people, our Clanfolk, will get married. They'll have children, grow old, and eventually will have to dispose of their corpse. Yikes. But moreover than that, it's also about managing their schedules. There's a mood and sort of a work, a happiness element to them as well. You see, it's not just about surviving, but also, of course, about thriving. Then there's that seasonality that plays across this world. This wonderful world of Clanfolk with their own weird little rituals, socializing, traits, behaviors built into a harsh survival world, but also a survival world that has some nice dynamic elements that help to keep the game relatively fresh. Elements that are really needed in a relatively complex colony sim and harsh survival game like Clanfolk. Elements like changing seasons that interact not just with, say, the rabbits that you might be out and hunting, or the eels that you're trapping, the berries that you're picking, but more importantly, actually, how the world looks, how it plays, and of course, how difficult it is to survive. In the middle of a massive rainstorm, you'll be feeling somewhat grateful that you decided to build, not like I'm doing here, but actually build with walls or a roof that will actually provide your people with shelter. But moreover than that, cold turns to ice. Ice will, of course, melt your fires, but more importantly, actually create a really difficult challenge that could ultimately result in you losing this wonderful little game. It is about building a place to call home, and those technological advancements that I mentioned earlier through a developing tech tree, increasing logistical challenges as well about how you get resources to certain places, where you store them. All of those elements come together to build a wonderful living world in a way that I think sets Clanfolk apart from others. The trading posts that you can build, for example, attract members of other clans to come and peddle their goods, trade with you. You'll also build up a reputation with them, which will affect all kinds of different things, like the goods that they'll bring, their specializations, for example. Travelers will also travel through. I had some fun playing around with this, trying to provide the best quality, here you can see, not so hot, shelter that I can. Better shelter will attract more travelers who will pay more money to grow your clan even further still. I really like the launch trailer here because I think it summarizes all of this in one great place. Here they are on day 101. Their clan built out well, stone floors, wonderful walls, shelter, resources. But of course, to get there, it starts with this relatively simple journey. A small clan in the Scottish Highlands getting ready to turn into something great. As you move through and continue to develop beyond your kin, you'll also note that workers from other clans will arrive, for example, at yours, at your job boards, occasionally, and look to help to earn some money that other people have potentially been paying at your inn as they've come to stay, to work, to grow your clan, to harvest, to bolster your hunting parties, staff your wonderful new inn. This is, to me, what Clanfolk is about. Clanfolk is a wonderful, RimWorld-esque, hardcore survival colony simulator about more than just resources and logistics, though. More than just planning out where you're going to place your walls, hunting eels. It's a real story-driven, relatively simple looking, but incredibly deep, with all kinds of wonderful elements to really draw you into the game, to keep you coming back for more, to keep you looking to progress. The weird little interactions between your clan folk help you build a strange relationship with these funky little people. And of course, the fact that they live in a world, they progress, they move through, and there are very real threats from fire, poor health, harsh weather, you name it, they've got it. Clanfolk is an incredibly enjoyable colony sim survival game, and if you're interested in games like this at a relatively low price point for this indie game, I think you'll really enjoy Clanfolk.